Hey everyone, Jennifer here with Restoration Recipes, and I know you know that I'm absolutely in love with the Royal Hawaiian Macadamia nuts. They're just such a clean quality product, and they have a really good fat content. It's 21 grams of fat, which is really good when you're looking for brain food. I have a bag this size actually in my car at all times because there'll be times where I realize I had missed lunch or something and I just need a snack, and it really, really helps. So today what I'm going to show you is, something that maybe you think that I should have done for the holidays, which I did as like a snacky thing to have out on the counter, but this is something that I actually like to have all the time. It's spiced nuts, okay? But my spices, I'm going to give you a couple different options that you can spice them with. And some people like them actual spicy. Some people like them with those earthy flavors. And then I'm going to give you a whole new mix of spice ideas that you can use. So we need about 3 cups of the Royal Macadamia nuts. So these are whole. Sometimes at Costco you can get them and they're actually already chopped. So that's fine too if you want them smaller. But since we're just using them for snacking, I'm going to use them whole. You can also use the natural kind that have no salt on them at all. But since I would have added a little salt anyways, I'm just going to use these. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with 1 egg, and you actually want just the egg white. So you're just going to crack it. I'm going to show you this because I was actually really surprised that a lot of people didn't know this, that they were like, oh, I need a special separator to separate my egg, and you don't. So I've just got this here. See if I can show you. Opening the lid, and then I caught the yolk within the shell. So you don't need any special fancy egg separator. And I just kind of use that shell to try to knock off the rest of that yolk, or excuse me, the whites, because we want the whites, not the yolk. So come on. Anyways, that's about as good as it's going to get. And I'll just save this and the yolk, and I will cook it up or just mix it in with my dog's food or eat it myself. Who knows? We'll see. Alright, so we've got our egg whites, and it only calls for 1 egg white. It's not a lot in there. And we're going to add just a touch of water. And you can use something like a hand emulsifier if you like, but since there's not a lot of quantity of egg whites in here, it's best to mix with a whisk. I'm just going to add a little bit more water, and you just kind of want it frothy. And I'm going to show you what that looks like. So you just go back and forth, and you make it frothy. And once that's done, you're going to take your 3 cups of nuts of choice. This is my favorite one in particular, but if you wanted to use almonds or pistachios or pecans or walnuts or a mix of everything, that's totally fine. But I'm really just kind of relying on these because it's such a healthy source of nuts. So 1, 2, and 3. So next, you would need your spices and your sugar. A lot of people may want to use like an organic cane sugar. I like this monk fruit sugar. It's way cheaper if you just buy it online, but it is actually from monk fruit and it doesn't affect your insulin. It's a really good source of a sweetener. I'm trying to pull out of my pantry here another kind that you might like. Some people like Swerve, and you can get these kind of things at like Whole Foods or Sprouts or a local health food store, but I pretty much just order everything off of Amazon or like Thrive Market or that kind of thing. So anyways, all right, so we got all of our nuts in here. Here's the sugar that I'm using. You could, the recipe that would normally call for like cane sugar would be probably about a half cup. I don't like things super, super sweet, so I'm going to do a 1/4 cup. And so what I'm doing here is I'm putting it in that bigger cup. I did my 1/4 cup, but I put it in the bigger cup because what I want to do is I want to put all my spices in there and mix it up. Sorry, my nose is like itchy. I'm like, ah. I want to mix it all up before I put it on the nuts. There's a couple things. So I've got ground nutmeg. I like cayenne pepper because I like it a little spicy. And then I like ginger oil. And then there's cinnamon oil. And my favorite is cardamom. And so I like to make it, it's almost like a chai spice. You could leave out the cayenne pepper if you don't want it spicy. I have a friend that's allergic to cinnamon, so we could leave cinnamon out. You can kind of really customize it to however you want it. Another blend, like forget all of those. If you wanted to just do one single spice, this one is super fun. It's garam masala, or masala, I should say. There's no R in there. It is an Indian spice, but it's very close to the chai flavors, and it's incredible. It's unique, and they can't stop eating it because they're like, ooh, what's that flavor? It's got coriander, black pepper, cumin, cardamom, cinnamon, and some other blends, but it's so nice. So in total, for 3 cups of nuts, you're going to want to do at least 2 teaspoons of spices, okay? So let's see here. So since I'm separating these among cayenne pepper, nutmeg, ginger, cinnamon, cardamom, I'm going to do very little of each. So when you're using or substituting essential oils for spices, generally 1 drop most of the time is equivalent to 1 teaspoon. So with the fact that I only wanted to do 2 teaspoons in total, the fact that I'm using oils, it's going to be a little bit over, but it's going to really pack a good bit of flavor. So I'm putting in 1 drop. Sorry, probably couldn't see that. I'm holding it down low here. I did 1 drop, you can see those drops on there, of oil on the sugar. And now I'm doing a 1/2 teaspoon of nutmeg because I'm splitting it amongst different flavors. Now with the cayenne pepper, just a sprinkle. You really don't want a whole lot. Like, I'm literally just giving it a little shake. You want just a little hint of it in the back, but you don't want a lot. So I'm going to mix all this up really, really good into this monk fruit sugar. And if you want it full sweet, then go ahead and do a 1/2 cup. But again, I only did a 1/4 cup of sugar. And so now that we have our egg whites whipped, we're going to flip the nuts and the egg whites, and then we're actually going to sprinkle them in, then sprinkle the sugar flavor on there. But I love the garam masala. I even make a garam masala strawberry jam. So amazing. So let's see here. So this is still pretty whipped. Just give it a little fluff. And then I'm going to just flip the nuts in there and get myself a big old rubber spatula and just flip that around until they're all really well coated. And my oven currently is preheating on 350, and it looks like all of the nuts got really well coated with the egg, not too much excess or anything like that. And now I'm going to take this mixture. Smells delightful with all that cardamom. Cardamom is amazing for respiratory stuff and congestion and anger and aggression and irritation. So I've got all of that. So I'm just sprinkling this, and then I'm going to flip that. And then so once all those are spiced, I'm actually just going to lay them on this cookie sheet that I have with a Silpat. These sill pads are nice. If you don't have one, you can use parchment paper or something like that. Not wax paper though. But I really love these sill pads, and they're actually kind of expensive in my opinion. But if you have a Costco membership like I do, they have them there in packs of 3 for like $12. So that's a killer deal because one of them normally is like $40. So, all right. So I've got these spread out. I'm going to get those kind of spread out a little bit. They're seasoned with sugar and spices. And I'm going to put them in the oven at 350 for about 30 minutes or so. And then they will be ready to snack on. And that's it. So, like I said, make them with garam marsala, make them with the cayenne pepper, without. But it's not just for holidays to have spiced nuts. It's a really good snack to have all the time. So, hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching.